And a very good afternoon to you folks, and good afternoon to you, Pants Neck. Good day.
Hope you all are staying safe these days.
Absolutely. And we've
And
actually,
hey, what were you gonna say?
I was going to say, we actually have a really crowded field today. We've got 17 participants today.
Ooh, I didn't think we'd have this much for a hard seed.
Yeah, and actually, I think this is the first time we've got Strizer86 on the restream after a long time.
Well, this will certainly mean we'll get quite the interesting race today then. Provided, of course, that the seed doesn't do its usual troll methods at us.
Or Ridley gets clipped into the floor like he did last week.
Ooh.
It's clipped on the Speed Gaming 1 channel, but I think it was, I don't remember who it was, but he got Ridley stuck on the floor, and he just kind of meandered to the side, not going vertically, and someone was able to just pump super missiles into the back.
So what you mean to tell me is that someone managed to get a clip of a clip?
Yes.
Hopefully, that does not happen again.
Although it will be entertaining if it does.
Well, I'm sure our runners today could I wouldn't say easily get out of such a situation, but I'm sure they can handle it. That being the case, what do you think's going to be our trouble item for this run?
Well, last time it was a combo of Titan's Mitts and Variasuit. So today I'm thinking it's a hard mode seed, so Variasuit might not show up right away. So I'm thinking it's probably... I wouldn't be surprised if it's Ice Rod.
I was going to say either Ice Rod or maybe one of the medallions.
Yeah, could be medallions. Alright, we should be getting underway in just a few seconds. We're just waiting for our restream to catch up. And we're off, ladies and gentlemen.
Here we go.
Now, this is a hard mode seed. We should probably elaborate on that real quick. So in a hard mode seed, some more difficult tricks such as continuous wall jumps, suitless Meridia, and certain various suitless hell runs in heated rooms may be expected in this seed. In hard logic, there are 2 items available in Super Metroid, none of which it appears our runners are going to go pick up.
Also, just because it's kind of out of the way. An island item is an E-tank.
Alright, no need to go well out of our way for that. It's not Pegasus boots like it was last week. Link's House giving us a jackpot of rupees and super missiles in the sanctuary.
300 rupees right off the bat is very nice.
Yeah, that is bomb money, that is bottle vendor money. Yeah, you're pretty much good to go through the first 15 minutes or so without much difficulty.
Looks like Maniacal's gonna go for the, I always forget the name of this room, but like the glitch room.
The Houlihan.
Yeah, the Houlihan room. He's gotta be a little bit careful, because that guard's trying to get him.
I'm actually surprised it didn't, but thank you, invincibility frames.
So, piece of heart in the Uncle area, and Uncle has a shield.
So it's half vanilla. So yeah, Maniacal...
Actually, it's more like half French vanilla. It's probably more like that.
Would have liked it to be a sword. We're also getting our tree poles. It looks like our tier 1 and 3s are both hearts. Yeah, the thing about the combo randomizer is that the tree poles default to their higher tiers at the start when you cross over, if you start in Super Metroid. Alright, so now what Maniacal is electing to farm up bombs via the two 50-50 bushes here near the Haunted Grove, and gets a full magic refill for his trouble.
Well, he grabs one, though. I guess he's gonna check out the race over here first.
It makes a lot of sense to do that, because you can route in a bomb pickup at Kakariko without much difficulty. In the case of the race game, you kind of have to go back and forth a little. So this makes a lot of sense what Maniacal is doing here. We're also getting a Lumberjack check from Commodora, and it reveals that Aga 1 is guarding a heart piece.
So at the moment, yeah, Aga is not required, but that could change over the course of all this.
Is this even randomized? All of our Light World dungeons were vanilla.
So wait, like,
All of Green Pendant, Eastern, Red Blue Pendant, Hera, and Desert. Is this even randomized?
Is this even randomized? Come on, guys.
Oh, that's funny. Which, well, at least it means all of our Dark World dungeons are crystals. Commodore revealing another tree pole being arrows. And our items in Lost Woods are a reserve tank and our first pack of power bombs. Alright, strap yourselves in, folks. This one's gonna get real interesting. So as predicted, Maniacal has went to buy some bombs and is going to do the Kakariko checks now. So far, Chicken Hut not having much of interest. Commodore also picking up a capacity upgrade for bombs in the back of the tavern, and our bottle vendor has an arrow cap upgrade.
Let's see what the well has. Nothing super interesting just yet. We're just getting like some common items around this place.
You know something? This is oddly similar to what happened last week. Kakariko was surprisingly barren. I think it was the Monday night race. But yeah, Kakariko was barren except for a bow in the back of Blind's hideout. That was it.
Okay, missiles. Oh, there's the ether medallion.
Which is nice, but we really can't use that for anything yet. More missiles in the back.
Not a whole lot in Kakariko, just ether medallion so far.
Wow. I don't know what is this, what is with the trend of barren Kakarikos, but this is kind of concerning. But that literally brings us down to South Shore checks, front of Hyrule Castle, front of Eastern, and Sahasrara's Closet, but nothing except a bulk coin and CAC.
Also looks like Maniacal's going backwards into the forest to get his items there.
So,
Curious just to see where everyone else is going to go to.
Yeah, there really is only two. Well, actually, technically, there's three options. There's South Shore. Well, four options if you want to add in Eastern Palace. There's Front of Escape, Eastern Palace neighborhood, South Shore, and there are those two items in Super Metroid that we can get to right now: the Vanilla Morph Ball, and I believe it's Crateria E-Tank.
There's also the mini Moldorm cave too, if they utilize bombs to get rid of the Moldorms.
Yeah, that's kind of part of the whole South Shore thing.
Ah, I gotcha.
Actually, also, I blinked and I missed. What was on the, well, actually, Ancient Gamer's going to give us another look at the library.
It is an e-tank.
Inside the dam, it was just yet another missile pack. Outside the dam is another big 20. What is with this barren start here?
Maybe we'll get all the items we need from Mini Moldorm, hopefully.
To answer a question in chat, how does switching between games work? There are 4 sort of cross-game portals in both games, which normally are sort of useless locations in their respective games, and those instead take you to the other game. For example, at the start of the race, our runners used the Crateria, Crateria map station to take us to outside the fortune teller's hut near Lake Hylia. Mini Moldorm Cave giving us a few convenience items, yet another shield, blue mail, and the red boomerang.
So, nothing, like, that great, but hey, defensive items, you can't really complain about those. Especially early game, too.
Absolutely. These crabs do 2 hearts of damage on green mail, but on blue mail, I think it's just 1.
That's still quite a bit of health, but that's a whole lot better than taking 2 hearts. Looks like Stryzer's going into Hyrule Castle now. Clearing out Hyrule Castle with just bombs is by no means an easy feat, but it's definitely doable.
Yeah, if you know exactly where to place your bombs, you should be in business. Case in point. Ooh, Ancient Gamer finding the flippers in Agina's cave. Now we're getting somewhere.
There we go. So that opens up the bottle guy under the bridge, and also the wishing waterfall.
Yeah,
and
so,
also King Zora.
Yep, so that gives us 5 more checks to work with. Just 50 bucks on the desert ledge.
Aha! Clever strategy right there.
Yeah, luckily guards can't handle stairs.
How does stairs work? I don't know. Oh, bombos. So that's 2 out of the 3 medallions.
I'm gonna laugh if it ends up being Quake required for both of our Dark World dungeons. We're seeing actually a ton of divergence from our runners here. Maniacal is our first to visit the Eastern Palace area and checks the Hospitalist Closet.
It's not a bad call given that both the Hospitalist Closet and Eastern Palace has quite a number of item checks, and we just saw the Power Glove there.
The Power Glove.
It's the Hospitalist Closet.
And you have to figure that given the barren start we've seen, most of our runners, or if not all of them, are probably going to be picking that up within the next 5 or 10 minutes, unless, in Ancient Gamer's case, Zora's Flippers end up yielding additional progression, especially for Super Metroid. But it looks like Commodore is following in Maniacal's footsteps, but Maniacal has found the speed booster in the back of Escape using that Power Glove.
Very nice. And he is already switching over to Super Metroid. I'm
not sure how I feel about that, considering that you could still do Front of Escape and a chunk of Eastern. Speed Booster does open up a few checks, to be fair. But I don't know. I still would have kept an eye out for a couple more items. To answer question, chat, the flippers are in the Agina's cave.
I think Maniacal did a 3-tap there to get the speed booster thing going.
Yeah, getting a speed booster to go through those blocks in front of Terminator can be a little tough. So yeah, without the Morph Ball, there are quite a number of checks we still can't quite make down here in the Old Mother Brain and Brinstar areas.
Yeah, the short dash strats with speed booster are never easy to pull off. Wishing Waterfall just has bombs and missiles in it, so nothing exciting there. Unfortunately, Ancient Gamer doesn't have enough money to get scammed by King Zora, but he can at the very least see what's on the ledge.
Yeah, it looks like Commodore has picked up the speed booster and is also electing to follow into,
Ooh!
Oh my. Maniacal picks up the bow from the back of, or from Brinstar Reserve.
And high jump. Now I'm thinking on it, could you get past Moat? Well, I mean, they don't have Morph Ball or Power Bombs to get to it, but could you essentially use high jump to pass Moat?
I believe so, and even then you have speed booster anyway, so.
Yeah, true.
But you still need a power bomb to get through the front door.
Yeah, I was saying, like, just realizing, like, they don't even have Power Bombs, or even Morph Ball for that matter.
But yeah, this could be... Oh, is that a vanilla charge beam?
I think that is. Or wait, or is... I thought Charge Beam is underneath with the, Chozo statue.
It might be, but it's pretty close to vanilla. Yeah, it is French vanilla. Thank you, chat.
Yeah, I figured as much, because that definitely seems like an item that'd be on the Chozo statue. I say... Oh, sorry.
I'm really am starting to wonder if this is even randomized.
I mean... We got a couple items in Super Metroid that weren't supposed to be there, but yeah, we've seen quite a number of French vanilla items.
Commodore has got to be a little careful. Does have that reserve backing him up, but you do not want to take a death in Super Metroid. Dying still sucks.
And does not keep progress.
Yeah, for this race, we are still running on version 10.2 of the combo randomizer. Which actually, we should mention that the SMZ3 1v1 2020 tournament will be starting in just a little over a week.
I think it's something like 12 days or something, or maybe like 10?
Somewhere within the next 2 weeks, for sure.
Yeah.
I believe the brackets start on the 12th, I want to say? I gotta double check. April 13th, so the day after next week.
Nako's gonna head down to Morph Ball to check that spot and probably the high jump ceiling item.
I would not be surprised if this is vanilla.
Just go to Morph Ball and like, hey, there's Morph Ball. Nope.
Aww.
At the very least, Maniacal doesn't need to do a damage boost to get the item here since he has high jump. Oh, and it's Moon Pearl!
Oh my.
That is a very nice find.
So if our if our Morph Ball, I should say, is in the Dark World, then the game is logically expecting you to use Speed Booster to get it. Fascinating.
think the only thing Maniacal needs now to get to Dark World is the hammer.
That is correct.
Strizer is going into Eastern Palace. Hopefully he might find something interesting there.
Yeah, unfortunately, we'll not be able to beat this dungeon. Now, granted, it is a pendant, but the bow we know is not in here, and it is not running on version 31 of the A Link to the Past randomizer logic, so bows are not progressive.
It's like Maniacal's trying to do some short charges there to get down to the lower item, but I guess he's given up on that.
Yeah, I don't think he can check Shaft Supers here without Morph Ball either, so he's gonna have to put that off for a while.
I think he attempted to get down to that Mother Brain item, but if he didn't get on his first try, he probably just was like, I don't want to waste too much time on it.
I gotta stop you for a split second there, because Strizer found the Titan's Mitts in Eastern Palace.
So that means, yeah, we've got like both glove upgrades readily accessible.
Yes, that does give us significant Dark World access. And we know that Thieves Town and Skullwoods are both crystals, so if we can clear out Thieves Town nice and quick, get an early crystal, I'm sure that Strizer wouldn't mind that after picking up that Moon Pearl. However, it would appear that Commodora is now backtracking to Eastern as well.
Maniacal, meanwhile, doing his castle checks.
Yeah, while we have a second here, let's take a moment to shout out Razor Flame Coon and Angels, our trackers today, who are doing a fantastic job making sure everybody knows who has what.
It's like, it's hard enough, like, keeping track of items for one person. Doing two, or even, like, four if we only have, like, one tracker is just crazy.
Indeed. But yeah, it looks like Commodore will be... actually, Commodore did not go get the Moon Pearl, it would seem, so this will not be Dark World access for him.
He's got his Titan Mitts.
So now becomes the next $1 million question. Since we have Morph Ball, where is, or I should say, since we have Titan, since we have partial Dark World access, where is our Morph Ball? Because that drastically increases the number of locations it can be. And if we find Flute, that's a Meyer area check coming up.
I feel like given that we're given, like, Titan Mitts right off the bat, I'm almost expecting it's in a location that probably requires Titan Mitts to get into. Or at the very least, just, like, either one of the Mitt upgrades. Of course, it could also be in Thieves Town, since that's readily accessible and there's a lot of items in there.
It could be. We're looking for either a flute or a lamp for Death Mountain access. If we do get that, then we have logical... We can go all the way up to... Well, we can't get up to East Death Mountain or Eastern Dark Death Mountain yet, so... we need either a mirror or a mirror hammer or a hookshot. Now, Ancient Gamer has just done another variant of the Houlihan where you bomb yourself into the back of Escape in order to also displace your position to trigger the Houlihan failsafe.
Maniacal's gonna take a quick death here so he can warp back to the entrance.
I would not be surprised if this gets routed into a lampless Dark Cross check.
Well, that certainly seems like what he's gonna do. I'm gonna be a little hard without a sword, but I think if you're familiar enough with, like, the layout of Escape, it shouldn't be too hard. Oh, right, he's got Boomerang.
He's got
It helps
Boomerang.
a little bit.
You can also stick some arrows to the wall for the sake of keeping the camera moving.
Yeah, so you can readily see what your position is relative to the camera.
Now, Commodore has the bow, so we'll be able to go straight to Armos Knights, who does have an item today, because we had a compass in the big key chest and the map in the big chest.
Ancient Gamer is heading downward. More than likely gonna grab that Moon Pearl as well.
Commodore taking a quick health refill from the fairies before proceeding. This is out of logic, the Armos Knights without Lamp, but nevertheless, to these runners, logic is merely a suggestion. But yeah, at this point, I'm starting to think Speed Booster was supposed to be our first Metroid dip to yield our progression for Dark World access.
Let's see, Stryzer's close to King Zora, but he's just a few rupees short from paying him.
I'm surprised he doesn't use unless he already has, used the boomerang to check the stun prize. If it is rupees, then he may improvise with that, unless there's a big 20 on the Zora's ledge, conveniently.
Yep.
Which there is.
Big 20 or a 5 rupee or something. So it looks like his amount is at 497.
Yeah, it is 497. Ancient Gamer, in the meantime, did pick up that Moon Pearl from Criteria, or I should say Retro Brinstar. And in hard mode, that is actually in logic without high jump boots. So we've actually had that is a Sphere Zero Moon Pearl. If you can believe it.
Well, Sphere Zero for a hard mode anyway. I think in normal logic, the game expects you to have high jump.
Yes. In this case, though, it is Sphere Zero because it is hard mode. And here comes our Armos Knights fight for Commodore. Did not quite get the quick kill, so he's going to have to do this the hard way. Being a little bit cautious, he is down to just 2.5 hearts.
So I also don't want to waste your arrows too quickly here. There we go. And it's just an E-Tank. But he's gonna get another item. Oh, Morph Ball Bombs from King Zora.
Ooh, that could be a big one because that is in fact our Can Fly, once we do get Morph Ball itself.
And for once, King Zora not ripping us off.
Yeah, Morph Ball Bombs themselves are quite useful, especially in the fact that allows you to be much more conservative with your power bombs when doing your Brinstar checks. Because as I see it, I believe we're still running only 5 power bombs here, which is not particularly ideal.
Yeah.
And it's just the Bloomerang on Sahasrara, so the bow, at least as far as now is concerned, was not our answer to progression.
But at the same time, we got mitts out of it, the upgraded mitts.
True. The bow does kind of convince people to go to Eastern. Maniacal has the mitts as well, and is probably going to go all the way to Armos Knights too.
Meanwhile, Stryzer is going through Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah, Stryzer is electing to sequence break here. We do still need a lamp by logic, but the magical boomerang allows for a little bit of ease, as you mentioned before. And
I'd also argue that just getting this item check also means you get the safe spot of Death Mountain too.
Absolutely. Ancient Gamer now has the bow and high jump boots, and Commodore is farming up for Zora.
Ooh, Maniacal playing dangerously here. He's only down to half a heart. Oh, but he's exiting out.
I think he realizes that this item is out of logic, and he's just decided to break for now. And the old man had the hammer. So our hammer is logically lamp locked.
So now the question is, where's the lamp?
Well, it's not on top of Spectacle Rock. That would just be a pack of missiles.
Oh, there's the sword.
We've been
Sword
pretty...
is on... Oh, sorry.
Now you first.
I was just gonna say swords at Spectacle Rock.
Yeah, we've been pretty due for a sword. We're coming up on the 30-minute mark here, and our offensive gear for A Link to the Past has actually been quite substandard. Maniacal also apparently got a bottle somewhere to check Sick Kid. I don't remember where that popped up. But Sick Kid himself just had a heart piece.
So nothing too extravagant.
For now. Bottles are excellent safety items nonetheless. Ooh, Ancient Gamer had to have his spark canceled due to low health.
Well, Maniacal's already in Dark World, and I'm assuming he's gonna do a lot of the checks here in Dark Kakariko.
Yeah, we're getting a chess game check here. Extra super missiles.
Can't
The
really
high
complain
jump.
about that.
Oh, Stryzer picked up the power bomb tank from the business center, but did not take out the little critter, so he's got to wait for it to come back.
Or not.
Yeah, he came through the Dark World portal anyway, so, or not the Dark World, the Death Mountain portal anyway, so the game does save upon transitioning to games as well, so Stryzer loses nothing besides that powerbomb pack. He'll come back in a second.
But does Sea House have missiles?
See, this actually works out pretty well for Stryzer, because Stryzer's going to pick up that Moon Pearl and get full Dark World access. Courtesy of that hammer. Now, while Stryzer will have full Dark World access, South and East Dark World will still be out of logic until we can find either the lamp or the flippers. Actually, we have the flippers, don't we? So we actually could get there. Ooh, Maniacal digging up the powder in the dig game. 8 digs, actually. Not too bad.
I think the fastest I got an item out of that was like I think 7 digs.
I've seen 5, I think, is my personal minimum I've seen. Ancient Gamer and Commodore are both about to get their Morph Ball bombs from the King Zora.
What's old Stumpy got for us today?
Ooh, Maniacal also electing to integrate the Smith chain here. Stumpy just has another bottle with a fairy in it. So yeah, this seed is starting to come to life here after a pretty barren Kakariko.
A lot of these items were in some pretty out-of-the-way spots.
Well, to be fair, the Titan's mitts, if you could believe it, were also a Sphere Zero check. Since we do have access right off the bat to the Eastern Palace Compass chest in Sahasrara's closet. And
there's Morph Ball.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You were expected to go to Retro Brinstar E-Tank for the Moon Pearl after getting Speed Booster for your Morph Ball.
Hype Cave was hype.
That's actually, I haven't seen Morph Ball and Hype Cave in a really long time. But that's some really good news for Maniacal. After Maniacal does pay off King Zora and gets a Can Fly, it'll put him in good shape to start doing a lot of work in Super Metroid.
Unless, of course, he forgoes just getting Morph Ball bombs and just relies on power bombs instead.
I don't remember if he's been to the Zora area yet. I don't think he has.
Well, he certainly hasn't been to Agina's cave because he hasn't gotten flippers yet either.
Okay, so yeah, he's gonna probably put off Zora until he gets those flippers. Especially since there's much more open to him now. I would wager, oh, we have our Dark World red crystal check. So our red crystals are in Pod and Swamp.
I think Maniacal's going to make his way through Death Mountain to both get the save point and probably enter Super Metroid through Brinstar.
Yeah, probably gonna get to the Norfair Business Center, which will give us some new information as we will get to see the 2 other items in the high jump boots area. Strider also picking up the Morph Ball out of Hype Cave. So yeah, we do have now, that is a logical Morph Ball, as that is not locked by the hammer, or actually we have flippers, so we have access to the east side of Dark World anyway. Or do you need hookshot for that? I always get the east to west and west to east requirements mixed up.
If you're trying to get west to east with Death Mountain, you need, if you're going via the bridge, you need hookshot, but if you're going via, the Tower of Hera entrance, you need mirror and hammer.
I'm talking about from, like, Thieves Town to Pyramid.
Oh, Thieves Town to Pyramid.
Without hammer.
I believe if you go north from Dark Kakariko, if you had flippers, I believe you can get to the other side. Otherwise, I think you need hookshot.
Yeah, well, if flippers are the way over, then yeah, actually, this neck of the woods here in Dark World is perfectly in logic. It is hammer or flippers. Okay, thank you, Bressingham.
Also getting an early dip of Skull Woods with Ancient Gamer. While Hammer may have some very short range to it, it has the same strength as Tempered, so it does make for a pretty good makeshift weapon.
Unfortunately, Commodore's elevator broke, so hopefully somebody will be able to get that elevator started up in a second, but we will try to get him back for you as soon as we can.
What does Catfish have for us today? Just arrow capacity. That's disappointing.
Yeah, not much out of that neck of the woods, but Ancient Gamer, meanwhile, is having a dip in Skull Woods. Everybody is going practically everywhere now because of the access we have.
And our curse for today is the Curse of Money.
Just couch cash, move along. So without a fire rod, Ancient Gamer will not be able to check the back of Skull Woods, and even if he did have fire rod, he's missing a sword to get to the to cut the curtain anyway, cut the vines, I should say.
Yep. I think he did get the big key though, so can at the very least check to see what the big chest has.
He was near the big chest earlier, but didn't go for it. I think he might, the big key might... Oh, never mind, he's just going the intended way. And
All
it's just
for a key.
I believe we've seen one item in Skullwood so far out of the 2, so I think our other item is going to be in the back somewhere.
If I had any guess, it's probably on Mothron. Or
It's
Mothula.
Yeah, Mothra's Godzilla.
Well, I said Mothron, but I guess,
Oh.
yeah.
Alright, first dip through Thieves Town, and the first item is the small key, and that's not promising. Although granted, Maniacal has the hammer, but still out of logic. Unless, of course, Lamp pops up in here, which it could very well.
Yeah, Mothron does kind of sound like a Pokemon.
I would think more of a Digimon, honestly, because every Digimon ends with Mon. Or On. But anywho, so it looks like Commodore did get the Moon Pearl during the little freeze there, because he's in the Dark World, as Razor Flame, our tracker, points out. Not much going on here in the front of Skull Woods. The only item we've seen is a missile pack. Meanwhile, Maniacal is electing to continue into Thieves Town. Makes sense. It's a crystal. You could full clear it. There's still 2 items left in the backside somewhere.
Plus, I don't think blind would be too difficult to do. I mean, granted, actually no, it wouldn't be too difficult because his health is on sword swings, not damage.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, exactly. So he
even
could use the sword.
Yeah, even though he's got the fighter sword, he can still just like kill it just as fast.
Yeah, it just has to follow the blind script, and he'll be A-okay. Bumper Ledge having 10 bombs.
You mean Bumper Ledge?
A Bumper Ledge, excuse me. Yeah. What did I say?
You said Bomber Ledge.
Oh, did I? Well, it is Bomber Ledge. It has bombs, to be fair. But yeah, no, you're right. It's Bumper Ledge.
Commodore's gonna be very happy to find that Morph Ball in there.
So we're actually getting, if you can believe it, pretty close to the equipment we need for a suitless Meridia dive. We have high jump boots, which is one of the big ones. However, I think other things that might make life easier would be Ice Beam and Space Jump.
Actually, would Grapple Beam help in that regard too?
Oh yes, Grapple Beam absolutely as well. But yeah, we're starting to pick up the pieces of the puzzle, and given the E-tanks we have seen... Actually, we haven't seen that many energy tanks, have we?
No, I think the most we've seen is like at most maybe 3.
So yeah, with only 3 E-tanks, that only puts 2 out of the 3 hell runs that the logic could expect in play here. And those 2 hell runs would be Crocomire and Ice Beam. The big chest of Thieves Town had a compass, so Blind will have our 4th item.
Hopefully it's something good.
Which is good news for Ancient Gamer, considering that he's walking in here without the hammer.
Let's see what the blind pun is. Oh.
Baker's
job is a piece of cake.
I thought it was a whole cake. Never mind. Maniacal having little difficulty following the script here.
Yeah?
Oh, missed the spin, but takes him down nonetheless.
I think he only got hit like twice during that.
Get some more power bombs for his trouble.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, especially considering that the powerbomb count so far is not that great. Commodore is still running on only 5 and has not picked up Morph Ball bombs from King Zora.
We are going to see the back of Gauntlet here, which is just an E-tank and a reserve tank.
Commodore may elect to go back for those soon because those would basically guarantee him the energy he needs to Hell Run to Ice Beam and Croc, if nothing else. I think he's only got one other reserve tank, so he's 100 energy short for the Hell Run to Bubble Mountain. Just a hard piece there in Hammer Pegs.
Very unrewarding.
Oh, I just realized the gentleman in front of Hype Cave actually had another bottle, so we now know about 3 bottles. So yeah, that Hype Cave definitely up there out of 10 compared to the Hype Caves we've seen. Not much in the back of Brinstar Reserve, though.
Meanwhile, Maniacal's gonna bring the thief his lunchbox.
Yeah, no Pegasus boots, so we're not going to be seeing the Phantom chest glitch from him. Yeah, it turns out you can leave the chest at a specific horizontal coordinate in the Dark World. Ooh, silvers.
That is definitely something good to get out of the lunchbox.
Especially since we're still very lacking in offensive firepower, and granted we even need Master Sword for Ganon anyway. Silver Arrows is going to trivialize a great amount of that fight, and the rest of the game for that matter.
Let's see if top right room here in the landing area only furthers my point that this room almost always, never has anything good to it.
Well, assuming Ancient Gamer can make it out alive with only 7 HP... Oh, I think he's resetting.
Yep.
And High Jump Boots having a different kind of boots, having our Pegasus boots today.
Pegasus boots probably wanting the spotlight and just kicked High Jump out of there.
Very quickly, I might add. So yeah, with Pegasus boots in tow, that opens up Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb, as well as saves us from the big key on the torch dilemma for a desert if we need desert for anything, or Ganon's Tower. And it would appear Maniacal's next stop is Kraid's Lair.
Ah yes, everyone's favorite early game boss, Kraid, Shadow Legends.
I never thought of it that way. Ooh, Maniacal finally getting his first energy tank of the run tonight.
Something very nice to see. It's especially given that he does not have any reserve tanks either.
Either that or hasn't turned them on. But yeah, with the energy tanks we now know of and the reserve tanks, I do believe we are logically capable of hell running to Bubble Mountain. Because we've seen a grand total of, I think it's 2 reserves and 3 energy tanks.
I believe so.
Which is enough.
Kraid's definitely not playing nice with the cycles here. But Maniacal gets that quick kill.
Very nicely done. Is rewarded with a missile pack.
Ooh.
Yep. Ancient Gamer, meantime, getting another energy tank out of 230 missiles.
I think Maniacal will be fine without Morphball bombs, because he's got 15 power bombs on him at the moment, and that's quite a bit early game.
Yeah, that's definitely enough to do what you really, really need to do. Ooh, Ancient Gamer finding red mail under Old Mother Brain.
Nice.
So certainly as far as defense is concerned, we're getting quite safe for A Link to the Past, and Maniacal finds half magic in the Crate E-Tank.
Definitely a good find.
And another E-Tank, a Charge Beam from Commodora. So, yeah, now we're suddenly getting really healthy. Forget what I said about just now being able to logically Hell Run. We can now pretty much, definitely Hell Run.
Commodore is currently in Waterway, and I believe Maniacal is... It's gonna go check Spacer Beam, I think.
Yeah, gonna do a quick red tower sweep here. Yeah, now Commodore's speed booster check here is in logic. You can, there's just enough range to get a charge in, and it is for the Fire Rod.
Oh, well. Scrap what I said about Fire Rod being the trouble item. Unless, of course, our runners, like, opt to not check it down here.
Water... You know something? I don't think that's going to happen unless our runners, any of our runners decide to do the famous Bryn skip. Which I can't foresee, given that there still isn't much direction on where to go for crystal dungeons in A Link to the Past.
But also at the same time, Waterway is just one of those rooms where, like, I was always, like, see, like, a few runners kind of forget it's there.
Yeah, it's going to be, pretty interesting. That is Variasuit there in Billy May's room, so forget about the hell runs.
They got heat resistance and a bit of a physical defense upgrade.
Oh, and Bressingham in chat actually brings up a good point. With Titan's Mitts and Flippers and an advanced fire source, we can actually go into Ice Palace.
Because they have both... Commodore has both Bombos and Fire Rod.
Ah, true. And there's another E-Tank in, Oh, Kane of Samaria at Alpha Power Bombs. This seed is coming to life, ladies and gentlemen.
Almost 15 minutes in, and we're, like, getting a lot of good items now.
Kane's a pretty big one because you need that for Meyer and Total Rock, both of which we know are crystals. Oh, and it actually would appear that Commodore found Spazer at some point, according to chat.
Yeah, I believe he got that... He got that from Green Hill Zone.
Okay. So yeah, it does seem like Brinstar is the play right now. Not sure if he went to Norfair Business Center to get the Pegasus boots, though.
Michael's pretty low on energy right now.
Yeah, he's used to it. He's got reserves backing him up. That is the X-ray scope with the moat, so that is 2 pieces now of our microwave combination.
But I don't think, unless he gets the item, or unless he gets, like, Plasma Beam in the ocean, I don't think we'll be getting the Microwave Beam before Phantoon.
Yeah, pretty unlikely. I'm actually quite surprised our runners have elected, although I imagine the lack of energy tanks among each individual runner is to suspect, but I am actually surprised we haven't seen a wrecked ship dive yet.
Well, I think Maniacal might be doing that right now. Or no?
I was going to check criteria power bombs first. On the subject of power bombs, it is more power bombs at Croc Escape. Ancient Gamer, why are you mockballing? You have Speed Booster.
Swag strats?
Fair enough. I think it is slightly faster, too.
It's definitely conserving his power bombs, considering he only has 5.
Yeah, the power bombs will start to show up for all of our runners, but for now they're just taking it kind of easy. There is Ice Beam in King's Tomb.
Nice. Commodore did not get the quick kill on Kraid. Oh, there's Mirror.
In the front
Mirror.
of Gauntlet.
So the back items are somewhat interesting, but that front item is really good.
Yeah, Maniacal just has to get over there. Granted, should be able to, or has done.
He's gotta line himself up in the middle, and he can get both items. Get that E-Tank first.
And with that mirror, that not only puts Tower of Hera into logic, but with Hammer and Titan's Mitts in tow, we can now access Dark Death Mountain. So, yeah, this seat just got blown wide open, ladies and gentlemen. We are literally, we're looking for Hookshot, Ice Rod, and possibly a Medallion.
I mean, I've certainly had it before, or like I get 2 medallions off the bat, but then both Meyer and Turtle Rock needs the other one I don't have.
Still a distinct possibility given the circumstances. But yeah, as far as crystal dungeons we can work on now... well, actually, as far as crystal dungeons, that doesn't help us out a lot. We can at least get through Turtle Rock's front door. Actually, we can go all the way to Laser Bridge in Turtle Rock if we have the right medallion. Which, given what we saw on Monday's seed, which I think had, like, significant progression on Laser Bridge... that is we could be seeing Ice Rod and Turtle Rock here. I'm very curious to see how Maniacal handles this. Oh, there is Space Jump in Mission Impossible.
Ooh. Stricer getting his mirror. Oh, Commodore is gonna go for a hell run. Or no, he's gonna take the speed booster entrance into Bubble Mountain.
This makes a lot of sense. He has 5 E-Tanks overall, so this hell run is in logic. And we've seen other energy tanks sprinkled about too, so there are 5 energy tanks in the world.
See, lower Bubble Mountain item was just missiles, and I believe Commodore is gonna go the back entrance into the cathedral, or no? I think they're gonna head over to Crocomire.
Gets the missile clip there.
Is that doing like it with regular missiles a lot harder since their hitbox is a lot smaller?
Something along that line. Gonna take a quick refill here, don't blame him one bit. Ancient Gamer nailing the Wavegate skip here. But it's just for some blue rupees.
It's everyone's favorite lad, Crocomire.
Yeah, Commodore should be able to make fairly short work of him without, even without a lot of super missiles, I notice. He's down to only 3. In the meantime, Ancient Gamer is on his way to pick up the Fire Rod from Waterway. That early speed booster has ended up, being quite a significant stepping stone for a good chunk of our progression today.
You'd be surprised at what you can accomplish with Speed Booster.
Because it was the,
Oh, Gravity
Wow.
Suit!
You always bet on Crocomire, ladies and gentlemen. So, we're literally in Super Metroid Go mode right now. Can you believe it?
I think the only thing that would really help them more in this case is finding Plasma Beam.
True. And we have found Ice Beam. It is in King's Tomb. Although Commodore doesn't have it yet. Although, we'll pick it up most likely soon. I doubt he's going to full clear or Go mode Super Metroid without picking up at least some more Link to the Past gear first. Oh, there's Plasma Beam.
Speak of the devil.
Also, I did not see what Strizer86 found in Shaft Supers. I'm checking my playback, and it's blueberries. But yeah, we are in no mode for Super Metroid, and for Commodore, this is actually really great, because if he decides to go to Wreck Ship, he'll be able to microwave Fantoon.
Well, I mean, you'll have to go to Wreck Ship. It's just a matter of when.
That is very true. But yeah, we're gonna get to see a nice early microwave, ladies and gentlemen. So, since we are in Super Metroid No mode, we even know where Space Jump is, so we can get Showcase Showdown. So we are missing... Actually, the only thing we literally can't get for Super Metroid is Shack Tool.
The case of Link to the Past, we still don't know where Hookshot is, or where Ice Rod is.
And that's about all we need. We can skip Flute, seeing as we can just get to the Lower Norfair portal to get to the Meyer area. Although it should be noted, we're still technically looking for a lamp.
I mean, the Misery Mire is completable without a lamp, just, it's a lot of pain.
Oh, absolutely. I usually refer by logic when it comes to stuff like that.
And there's also the big rail room in Turtle Rock that's dark too, but since you're on a rail, so long as you know where the fire bars are, it's not too hard to navigate that room.
Not sure what Maniacal's trying to do here. I guess he was trying to use a speed booster, Morph Ball, to get under those blocks.
Yeah, I think he was trying to get, like, you know, a quick speed booster without having to waste power bombs.
Chad brings up a good point. Ice Clip can get us to Shack Tool as well, although I think you still need Spring Ball to get out if you're suitless, but we're not suitless, luckily, so...
Well, no, 3 of our 4 Restream runners have Morph Ball bombs, so I think they can get out that way.
Yeah, well, with Gravity Suit. Without Gravity Suit, I think you need to use Spring Ball. Strider picking up his Spazer out of Green Hill Zone. And Maniacal actually on track to get Varia Suit. Ancient Gamer...
Oh, sorry.
You first.
I was just gonna say, my uncle's gonna be happy to see that Varia Suit.
And Ancient Gamer saw the Ice Rod in the middle ground of Wreck Ship. That means Turtle Rock is full, Quake Medallion notwithstanding, full clearable. This is definitely turning into one of the fastest seeds I've seen for sure. Because we're an hour in and we're literally just looking for hookshot swords, which granted one of them's probably chilling in GT, and maybe a medallion. How much do you want to bet one of those 3 are going to pop up here in Wreck Ship?
Entirely sure. There is a lot of items to find here in Wreck Ship, so it's a definite possibility. Though I almost want to say that we probably won't find it here, because
Yeah, that's
we haven't seen too many like energy tanks around, or just like heart pieces in containers.
true. And that is kind of the downside to knowing what we know now about how many items are out there. Hookshot could be in a lot of places. The same with Quake, the same with those swords. Could Hookshot be on pedestal? The answer is yes, it absolutely can be.
Because all three of the pendants are the early game dungeons, and none of them really require anything substantial aside from bow and I think boots.
Bow, gloves, boots, fire source,
Yeah.
lamp in Ethan's case. So yeah, I think the only thing we're looking for pedestal in true logic is a lamp, and Hookshot could be there, or Quake. Oh, but Commodore finds the screw attack in Bubble Mountain. He's gonna head to the reserve. Screw attack is definitely a big one if you're going to be doing hell runs. They can just annihilate enemies.
Plus, it also makes Lower Norfair much more manageable.
He's got to be a little careful. He's running out of HP. Gets to safety. Or no, it does not get to safety. He's going to have to burn his reserve. It does not have the ammo for a crystal flash. Oh, he's got to reset. I think he saved recently, though.
Yeah, I believe so. By the way, Ancient Gamer is the first of our streamers to take down a ghost.
Oh yeah, Commodore saved in Bubble Mountain, so yeah, that's not a significant loss. Still, that's good to know that there is screw attack in Bubble Mountain.
So Maniacal's opting to just get rid of these little yellow blob things.
Yeah, I've never been familiar with those particular creatures. Still not much going on in Wreck Ship just yet. Still a few items to check, and with Speed Booster, we can check the reserve. I wouldn't be surprised if something's there, considering how much Speed Booster has yielded so far. Yeah, unfortunately, because Commodore elected to skip Billy Mays, he's still waiting on that still going to be doing this without that Vari-suit, so he's got to farm up a little for extra health. But next stop on his list is Speed Booster, which has money.
Billy Mays had Vari-suit. I think the only other item that was in Billy Mays was like, I think, missiles?
I think it was actually 20 rupees. Now, Ancient Gamer taking advantage of the fact that he has Vari-suit, which does significantly reduce environmental damage, which thankfully spikes qualify as.
I think without Varia, they do like, what, 80, 90 damage?
It's about an E-tank, actually. The vertical spike, specifically.
Maniacal finds his ice beam. But Chozo just has bombs.
And Ancient Gamer elects to save warp in order to not have to go back through that. Answer question, chat. The flippers are in Agina's cave. which Maniacal could very well last location at this rate, believe it or not. He's got no reason to go there right now. For Swamp, sure, but for now, as far as Maniacal knows, that's a one-off check. The gravity suit is behind Crocomire. And so, Hell Runs and Suitless Meridia I don't think are required this seed. Because the Various suit was free, it was in Billy Mays, all you needed was Morph Ball and some form of high explosive or speed booster, which all were free. Well, all didn't require Hell Runs, I should say. And Gravity Suit was logical, so yeah, no Suitless Meridia, no Hell Runs by logic today. Maniacal is electing to dip Tower of Hera.
An interesting choice.
Makes sense considering he's in the neighborhood and there are 2 items in here. He picked up the big key up top, so no basement dive for him yet. No small key either, so no basement anyway. And yep, Ancient Gamer remembering that the Ice Rod was back there and picks it up and can now pretty much full clear total. Oh, actually, no, Ancient Gamer's missing the hammer, which is lamp locked.
And he's also missing his mirror, too.
Yeah, ironically, both the pieces for, oh! Apparently, Hookshot was in Missiles in the Sky.
So that's 2 good items out of Rick Ship.
That's pretty big news for Ancient Gamer. Once he does make that Death Mountain dive... Actually, where was Mirror again? Alpha Power Bombs, so...
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was Kane, excuse me. Mirror was, 230 missiles. Or was that... No, Mirror was, front of Gauntlet. There we go. Yeah, 230 missiles was an energy tank.
The map was on Moldorm, so last item is in basement.
Oh boy.
At the very least, Maniacal can take a small bathroom break while he waits for this room.
And once he sets up on the tiles, yes. Surprised he doesn't use his cane to set that up.
I personally just use bombs to set it up.
Oh, and there is another sword underneath the Chozo bowling alley.
So that brings us up to Tempered.
It does?
Yeah, because we saw another sword upgrade, I believe, elsewhere. At least I think in Maniacal's case, I believe he got one of his sword upgrades elsewhere.
Okay. And it's just extra money in the bottom of Hera. Ancient Gamer still not picking up that X-ray scope. Plasma Beam was in... Where was Plasma Beam again?
I think... I'm not sure myself.
I want to say it was in...
Oh, there's Lantern.
It was behind Crocomire, that's right. It was in Crocomire escape area somewhere.
I saw Lantern. It was that Sky Island in Death Mountain.
Oh, Lantern is in the floating island. Okay. So yeah, you had to come back with Mirror. So the lamp is on Dark Death Mountain. Wow, that is a late lamp.
And hey, Butter Shield.
It's good for laser bridge, if nothing else. So that lamp now puts, that does put Pedestal into logic. As well as all the other dark rooms we still kind of have to do. Maniacal's showing us our first look at East Death Mountain and Paradox Cave at an hour and 12 minutes.
Didn't say something or anything too exciting at the moment, just a heart piece. Although there's Quake, so we have all of our medallions now.
So we are in no mode. Yeah, we're in no mode. We've seen two swords. We know where Ice Rod and Hookshot are. We've got all of the medallions, so Ped's dead. That is unbelievable. An hour and 13 in and we've hit no mode. That is the fastest no mode I have seen in my, 8 months or so of working these races. Now the question is, how fast will our runners get to all the pieces of the puzzle?
Fastest no mode and non hard logic to boot.
On hard logic, where it didn't seem like any hard logic tricks were required.
Because we found various suit even before reaching any of the heated areas, and also Ancient Gamer doing the swag strat here with speed booster.
Nicely done.
So it looks like Turtle Rock needed bombos.
Yeah, unfortunately, one downside to Maniacal's current equipment, I think he's going to dive in here with his current equipment looking for Ice Rod. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. He's probably expecting the Ice Rod to be on the laser bridge, which I don't blame him. But actually, it looks like he just wanted to open it.
He might just be making a quick pit stop at Hookshot Cave. He can actually only check the first chest here.
Yep.
Which has
its cape.
How convenient. Spike Cave is right around the corner. Ooh, Maniacal's gonna hover. He's gonna hover. Or at least try.
Do it, though. Well, he gave it one shot.
Meanwhile, you blink and you miss it. Commodore has taken down Mothula for, if you could believe it, his first crystal of the run. Didn't see anything particularly crazy in Super Bunny Cave.
Nah, it just looked like more ammo.
Strizer, meanwhile, has picked up that screw attack out of Bubble Mountain, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him. Let's see where he goes from here. Surprised he didn't go for those power bombs, considering that even though power bombs may not be needed by this point, he's got 25. It is good crystal flash ammo. Oh, yeah, Ancient Gamer realizing that the bottle vendor's not, the potion shop's not running a charity here. A little slow, short on rupees. Maniacal getting a fairy drop right in time for Spike Cave. And with half magic, this should be a pretty trivial traversal.
All for 20 rupees.
Ooh, and he's electing to stay on Dark Death Mountain by using the cape and spin speed. He's only got 4 seconds to get off the spikes, though. Just barely squeezes out. Very nicely done.
It's always a tad bit scary going through all that with as little hearts as you have here.
I think he's going to go to the old man here to heal up real quick. Strizer electing to do a lava dive and head into Lower Norfair. And I think he's going to go fight Ridley. This is a gutsy play with only 5 energy tanks. Granted, he's got Space Jump and Screw Attack. So let's put together everybody else's kind of shopping list here. So for Strizer to be in go mode, he needs to go to Wreck Ship to get the Ice Rod and Hook Shot. And also divert to Alpha Power Bombs in Red Tower for the Cane of Samaria.
Now, we don't know whether or not Misery Mire requires Quake, so Misery Mire's still kind of up in the air in terms of requirements.
True.
Well, and requirements just to get in. I think he more or less has all he needs to clear Misery Mire, aside from Lantern, which is at Sky Island.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Strizer check out the Mire area after fighting off Gold Chorizo here.
In that sweet spot there.
And as suspected, Maniacal is electing to dip Turtle Rock without the Ice Rod, but finds the blue cane immediately. Yeah, Strizer's a little low on Super Missile, so he's going to have to fight him the hard way. Still does not have Plasma Beam.
It's not really the hard way if you're in the sweet spot there. I can just
True.
use charge attacks and attack him. Granted, it's a little slow.
Yes, Charge Spazer Ice is not nearly as powerful as Charge Plasma Ice.
Or even charge wave ice. There's Bukamudora.
That actually is really convenient for Strizer, because that might convince him to make a quick pit stop to Desert. But it is Vanilla Ether for Misery Mire.
So Quake is not needed.
Getting a look at the Checkerboard Cave here, which is another Ruby jackpot. So yeah, with Strizer, in Strizer's case, with his current equipment, he can full clear. Actually, no, he can't clear Mire, no cane. Ooh, finds Grapple Beam. That's not something you want to find right now. You really don't want to be thinking Suitless Meridia given the circumstances. Just some rupees on the Desert Palace torch, so Desert Palace is not boots locked. So yeah, our progression is kind of spread out, it seems, from between all areas, but you didn't really need much to get to it. Because after you pick up your free speed booster from Back of Escape, that gives you access to Moon Pearl, which by extension gives you Morph Ball. Charge was free. Variasuit was in Billy May, so it was relatively free. And then Gravity is right behind Crocomire, so don't need a lot for that. So as far as Super Metroid is concerned, yeah, Super Metroid was pretty free. Link to the Past, again, we pretty much had access to everything almost right off the bat, but it's just, you have to go a little back and forth to get your things. Because it was Fire Rod in Waterway, Cane in Alpha Power Bombs, Ice Rod in Middle Ground of Wrecked Ship, Hammer on the Old Man after getting the lamp from Floating Island, which Titan's Mitts and Mirror could make that easy. So yeah, not much. I don't have to like try and profile the seed like I normally do, because this one was not nearly as linear.
I think the only really hard part about this seed was just that it was just very barren at the start.
Yeah, Barren start, initially low E-tank at the start. That's about it, really.
Although, granted, I don't think it stopped, was it Ancient Gamer that did the hell run through Bubble Mountain, or was that Kumadora?
I think that was Commodora.
Okay, yeah, it was Commodora.
I think Ancient Gamer also pit stopped in, actually, no, he didn't, because, or Strizer pit stopped in, oh no, Strizer did that after, Variasuit, never mind. So yeah, it was only Commodora. And to not being particularly cooperative with Commodore this time. Got his X-ray scope set. Didn't get the microwave. Gonna try again here.
There we go, he got it. I believe you can only do the microwave beam while Fantoon is flying around like that, because if you try to do that while he's initially exposed, it's just gonna make him disappear.
Right, yeah.
Strizer, meanwhile, is gonna be heading down to Ridley.
Yeah, Strizer's a little short on super missiles for this fight, and is still running on Charge Ice Spazer, but should, knowing his level, he should be pretty, okay with this. Certainly a gutsy play nonetheless.
I think he has the minimal amount of, max super missiles needed to beat Ridley, right?
Yes, he does have Charge Beam to back him up, but as far as super missiles, yes, he has the absolute minimum needed. And he is going to farm real quick just to make sure that he's in tip-top shape. Kane was in Alpha Power Bombs. Hookshot was in Missiles in the Sky. Yeah, Commodore is now trudging through Wreck Ship, going to get the quite the treasure trove of items that are found here. Ancient Gamer taking full advantage of that Ether Medallion to insta-wipe those Gibdos. And a nice vanilla E-Tank as the spoils from taking down Ridley. Maniacal, meanwhile, is our first runner into Palace of Darkness. Quite a late pod dive, all things considering. Although, considering that the lamp was behind Titan's Mitts and Mirror, not too surprising. Ancient Gamer taking down Mothula without after running out of magic for the Fire Rod, so nicely done on his part. I think Manial's major crutch right now is that he is still looking for flippers. Once he honestly finds flippers and goes to Wreck Ship, preferably in the latter order, because I feel like if you get flippers now, it might lead you to Ice Palace, which at this point we're pretty sure is barren. So ideally he'd go to Wreck Ship first, get his hookshot and Ice Rod, and then go to Agina's Cave to get those flippers. And at some point or another find that second sword. That looked like missiles caged back there in Ridley Escape.
Just bomb expansion. Don't really need that. Let's see, Musketeers have. I can't really say no to the super missiles.
Yeah, especially considering how low Strizer is right now and that he doesn't have the ammo for a Crystal Flash. I don't blame him for picking that up right now, just in case supers become a premium later. Now, in Strizer's case, his progression is just in Alpha Power Bombs and Wreck Ship. Commodore, meanwhile, now getting the double dose of progression here from Missiles in the Sky. Commodore still has to rescue the old, has to go to Front of Gauntlet for Mirror, go to Alpha Power Bombs for Kane, and rescue the old man for Hammer. No, he got it. He got it, Razor Flame. I just looked at the playback. He got it. Yeah, he just struggled a little to get out, so it took him an extra second. Alright, Strizer now on his way to Croc, going to get the Gravity Suit and Plasma Beam. Now, Gravity Suit might... I imagine he was going to do Red Tower real quick before dipping Meridia, which will get him the Cane. But I'm hoping he doesn't think to do Meridia before any of that, because Meridia is barren.
I'd imagine all you're really gonna find Meridia is just like ammo and stuff.
Probably ammo. Commodore getting the second sword now out of the Chozo bowling alley. I'm going to call that the Chozo lanes from now on. Commodore stream having another minor hiccup there, but we'll get that sorted out soon. Ancient Gamer going to Pod, and Strizer should be picking up Plasma Beam right now. Now, as far as Ancient Gamer's to-do list is concerned, all he has to do is actually go and rescue the old man on Death Mountain, and that's it. Assuming, of course, the torch does not have the big key. He could theoretically skip Ice Beam if he's got 15 Power Bombs, because Power Bombs do let you skip, do let you take down the Metroids. Meanwhile, down goes Helmasaur King for Maniacal. Just for another heart piece. There's Commodore's Cane. So while we have a spare moment, we once again would like to remind the audience that the Super Metroid Zelda 3 1v1 2020 tournament will be beginning just a week from tomorrow. The bracket stages begin on April 13th, so we invite you to join us for those. It's going to be one heck of a good time.
Especially considering that said tournament is going to be running off of version 11 of the randomizer to boot.
Indeed. And we also want to say that on Saturday, as we announced at the start of the stream, we will have a Super Metroid Zelda 3 crowd control race as well. So we look forward to that. And Commodore is dipping Meridia. Unfortunately, this is just going to cost him time, aside from killing Dragon. Strizer has also taken the bait, unfortunately. I'm trying to think what could be found in Meridia that would bring our runners to where they want to be. Strizer, Pack, and Grapple Beam probably going to throw in a Shack tool check, unfortunately. Oh, there's another sword.
Something. Sword upgrade.
Yeah, you definitely do want to at least... Ideally, you'd want to go into the Ganon fight with Tempered tempered silvers at best. And that is Stryzer's tempered sword, yes. Oh, and there's the flute in Meridia. Which, again, might not help, because it might just convince him to go to Meyer instead of Red Tower and Rex Ship. Ooh, Ancient Gamer using Bombo strats here to take out the company down here in the Dark Maze. Unfortunately, we're not going to know what those two items he's picking up are, because if they're Super Metroid related, they are not visible. Usually. The map also isn't visible either in the dark. Commodore taking a look at the aqueduct here, giving us super missiles and the single arrow of destiny. I think that was Styx up in the Batoon exit passage. And yeah, it looks like it was the map in Dark Maze, because I see a map on Ancient Gamer's pause menu as well. And Ancient Gamer is going to go ahead and defeat the Armos Knights here. This is the best time to do it, if any, but unfortunately we do know that the Armos Knights and the Green Pendant by extension are not worth the trouble today. Commodore, meanwhile, putting that microwave beam to work once again to microwave Batoon.
I think Strider was trying to do a little bit of Shine Spark strats on the boss there.
Yeah, it didn't quite work out. He didn't get grabbed either in the first try, so he's gonna elect with Grapple Beam strats, and down goes Dragon. Fried shrimp, anybody? Oh yeah, Maniacal never checked Lumberjack, but I think he's, I hope he didn't forget about Rex Ship. Oh yeah, that's right, Ancient Gamer had trouble here. He elected to not go for the big key chest at first. Commodore, meanwhile, is just frying everything in sight here. It's really hard to say like who has the advantage right now because everybody is looking for something different right now.
And while Maniakal's still missing Flipper's hookshot and ice rod, he at the very least was making like good progress on the dungeons he still needs to complete.
Which is not a bad idea when you know you can clear a lot of dungeons. It's like, okay, get the crystals now. You can come back later. You can at least not have to do those later when you're on your when you're cleaning up in go mode. All right, Commodore is back in A Link to the Past, so that's partially in the right direction. He's activating his flute. I believe this is going to be a Meyer check.
Which I mean, we saw what Meyer was before, and I believe it was Ether.
Yes. Now, in Commodore's case, Commodore could full clear Meyer if he wants to. Alright, Ancient Gamer has once again returned to Super Metroid. Trying to think where his next play might be. It's probably going to be towards Ridley and Crocomire. Maniacal, meanwhile, picks up that gravity suit. Yeah, Commodore's got that grapple beam, but Commodore's at least already been to Meridia along with Strizer, so I doubt that he's going to take that as bait and go to Shack Tool, at least not until he last locations that hammer. There's another fetch quest item in Meridia, the shovel in the left side sand pit. Strizer, you have more ball bombs.
I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, he got him. Nice mock ball through the cosine room there from Maniacal. Alright, Maniacal resetting now. Didn't see anything of note in Ice Beam. That was an ice beam. Excuse me, that was grapple beam. And Strizer about to finally get his cane. And hopefully, if he routes this into Wreck Ship, this will actually put him in go mode. Which I suspect that he will do, considering that that's the last Super Metroid boss he's got on his to-do list. Now, while Strizer may be entering go mode in a few minutes, he does still have to clear out 6 crystals, several of which other runners have already cleared. Alright, Strizer now packing the microwave beam right in time for Fantoon. Ancient Gamer nailing the quick kill. So I think Crate only stood up once for our runners today. Yeah, so Strizer's in Wreck Ship. He'll take down Fantoon, microwave him, get the Ice Rod and Hookshot, and be in go mode. Although, has Strizer been to Meyer yet? I don't remember. He might just...
I'm not sure.
He might just go straight there to verify that he's in go mode, which if he is, he's gonna start immediately full clearing everything. Or not full clearing, go moding everything. Now, unfortunately, Commodore appears to have noped out of Meyer. I think he was having too much trouble in the dark rooms. Which, luckily, he's right around the corner to the lamp. And he's actually about to go get his hammer. I'm curious to see Commodore's reaction when he gets to Floating Island and sees that lamp. He's a little frustrated. And Maniacal just found the flippers in Agina's cave. It's all coming together. Yes, Miss Metroid, we are in no mode. We've actually been in no mode for about 40 minutes, if you can believe it.
It's mostly just a matter of them actually getting the items.
Yeah, the progression didn't require a lot of... It didn't require a lot of items, but it required a lot of back and forth. Strizer's about to get his go mode, which will be Ice Rod and Hookshot in Missiles in the Sky and Missiles Under the Sky. Oh, actually, Ancient Gamer, I just realized, picked up the hammer. So actually, if you could believe it, Ancient Gamer is our first runner in lampless go mode at about 152. Now, granted, he is missing a sword, but I don't believe the other two swords were in particularly bad spots. Well, he just saw the second one, so he's going to get it right away. Oh, he's also missing Gravity Suit, I just realized. But you can kill Dragon without Gravity Suit, especially with High Jump, Space Jump, and Grapple Beam. I think he's got a way out. And Maniacal is unfortunately spending some time here in Desert, but finds our fourth sword in the back of Desert Palace. See, the swords were a little spread out today, too. We had, what, Spectacle Rock, right side Retro Brinstar,
and also, I think it was like the lane area with wrecked ship.
Yeah, the Chozo Bowling Alley, and back of Desert, right side Desert. So yeah, those are all over the place. And Strizer just saw that hook shot and realized, yeah, I'ma take that.
Certainly no reason not to take it.
And now that Strizer's Ice Rod, that's gonna put him in go mode at 155.02. To answer your question, chat, no, there was pretty much no hard logic required today. Or absolutely no hard logic required today. Speed Booster, Mitts, and Moon Pearl were all Sphere 1. Or Sphere 0, rather. Oh, there's Spring Bowl and Hookshot Cave. I would wager that once Strizer is finished here, he is going to go straight to Misery Mire and check the medallion to see if he is in go mode, because I don't believe he's checked it yet. Because yeah, he's still checking items here, and this is actually going to be Strizer's Butter Sword. And this is painful. Commodore is going into Ice Palace without go mode. Commodore is missing the mirror from Alpha Power Bombs, which is why he's not in go mode. Front of Gauntlet, rather, excuse me. The cane was in Alpha Power Bombs. Sorry, I've been getting those confused a bit today. Commodore could backdoor Tower of Hera, but the problem is the crystal Commodore needs the mirror for is Swamp Palace. Ancient Gamer getting that lamp. which will put him definitely in go mode. Well, suitless Meridia go mode. Strizer is going to activate that flute. I would wager immediately go to the mire area. Yeah, the pendants were vanilla today. And Strizer and Ancient Gamer, I think, are both electing to go and clear out Turtle Rock now. Kind of surprised at this. I would have thought Turtle Rock would be your last dungeon to clear if you were in go mode, because then you can just park right in front of GT.
Well, to each their own.
Fair enough. Actually, I just noticed Aster is not yet packing this. Not Aster. Strizer is not yet packing the silver arrows. Neither is Ancient Gamer for that matter. The silvers, if I'm not mistaken, were on Gary's lunchbox.
Yep, so I think Maniacal's the only one who has silvers right now.
Indeed, although I would wager Strizer will be more than comfortable with Buttersword's silverless Gan, and Ancient Gamer might not be as comfortable, but I would wager... Actually, is Ancient Gamer able to route in any swords at this point? I'm trying to think. Because the other two he hasn't seen are Meridia and back at Desert. I don't think so. Because I would imagine that if Ancient Gamer's in go mode, he's just going to go from Ice Palace and backdoor Meridia to Dragon. Oh yeah, Gary's lunchbox is the purple chest, for those who don't know. We call it Gary's lunchbox. The Chomps being nice to Ancient Gamer here. Yeah, right side Desert and Meridia watering hole had the swords, but Desert is a pendant, so Strizer's not going for that. Or, not Strizer, sorry, Ancient Gamer's not going for that.
He's not going for it. At least we don't know just yet. He might still go for it, but probably not likely.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
And Ancient Gamer actually does have a bit of a leg up on Strizer right now, considering he has cleared Skull Woods out in the meantime. I would wager, though, Ancient Gamer is still kind of looking for gravity suits, so he's still checking items along the way. Chat does bring up a good point. Strizer has already pretty much full cleared Super Metroid, so it's just a run to Mother Brain on his end. Commodore, meanwhile, having little trouble corralling Cold Stare, but with Tempered Sword, not too much trouble afterwards. They got away from him, but he got him back. Ooh, Astra got bit a couple times. Or Strizer, sorry. I don't know why I keep mixing them up today. I think I'm used to him being on the top right when we restream these, so... Force of habit. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
It's alright, I probably would make the same mistake myself.
Alright, Maniacal on the way to Ridley. Yeah, Maniacal's got the pogo set up now. And down goes Ridley for Maniacal.
That was
Uh-oh.
pretty quick.
It would appear that Commodore has taken a KO. Look at Hell running for Ice Beam.
Ooh, oh.
And I do not know when the last time he saved was. It looks to be back at the ship. Actually, it had to be recently because he just cleared Ice Palace, so I don't think Commodore lost much anything of significance. So now where's I think this actually might have been a blessing in disguise because Commodore is going to go check Criteria Power Bombs in front of Gauntlet. Oh yeah, chat brings up another good point. Ancient Gamer has still not picked up Ice Beam from King's Tomb.
I mean, granted, he doesn't really need Ice Beam to clear, Mother Brain's area, but it does make it faster.
It makes it considerably faster. Laying 3 power bombs per room takes a lot of time by comparison to firing an Ice Beam shot with a super missile. And yep, that's Commodore getting the mirror. Doesn't seem as nearly frustrated as he was getting the hammer. But that is going to put Commodore in go mode at 206.43. Kinda probably wishing he had that before he decided to clear Ice Palace. Ancient Gamer having a lot more trouble with Trinex than Strizer. Strizer actually able to pull ahead of Ancient Gamer in the Trinex race here. And yeah, Strizer is now going to be able to just go mode Ice Palace. Ice and Swamp are two of the best dungeons to be able to go mode. Mire, especially if you get the God Mire, which I don't think we had. So with the mirror in tow, Commodore's first stop looks to be Swamp Palace.
I mean, you could just go right for the boss.
Pretty much.
I always just feel odd, like, Swamp Palace being one of those dungeons where, like, the big key is not required to reach the boss.
Yeah, same for Skull Woods. And Ancient Gamer has now picked up the Ice Beam from King's Tomb. Alright, Maniacal now going for the screw attack in Norfair Reserve. Or Bubble Mountain Reserve, I should say. And now the question is going to be, where does he go from here? Does he go for Meridia or does he go for Rex Ship?
I want to say he might go for Meridia first, just so once he gets to Rex Ship, he can easily route into Turian.
That's not a bad idea. Typically, runners will try to finish Link to the Past first because it's easier to save and quit to the ship that way. But it is possible, if you're struggling to find your Link to the Past go mode, to fit that runners will clear Super Metroid first just because they can. Oh, apparently Maniacal didn't get the screw attack.
He'll be fine. At this late in the game, it's just more of a luxury than anything.
Pretty much. Especially since Ridley's already out of the game. But yeah, Maniacal's running screw attack. I was about to say, he walked right through it. Or right around it. Oh, there's our fourth bottle in the flooded chests of Swamp Palace. Bottle of Red Goose certainly won't hurt at this stage of the game.
Certainly not.
Ooh, Ancient Gamer is actually delivering the purple chest to Gary here and is going to be rewarded with those silver arrows. I was about to say, that is the magic powder, not the magic mirror. And yep, looks like he's going to Meridia first, so he's gonna full clear this place looking for Hookshot and Ice Rod, but it's just gonna cost him some time, unfortunately. And Maniacal getting that flute. So yeah, as we're winding down here, folks, don't forget to give our 4 runners on Restream a follow today, as they have put on an amazing show for you, navigating this, not really big maze of a seat, but just big back and forth showdown.
Especially considering that, while the seat has been a tad bit straightforward, all of the runners basically went their own paths once it really opened up.
Yeah, that's something you tend to see, especially when we get so much early progression, because I think by the time we had Dark World access and we got Morph Ball, we could literally go, like, check half a Super Metroid, and almost immediately after we find, like, half the rest of our Go Mode items, so... Ancient Gamer is going to set up a, I forget the name of this trick, but it is possible to water walk here in Swamp Palace, like so. Diver down, thank you. And there you go, he's water walking and picking up the 2 flood chests, gonna get that red potion, and not have to drain the water.
From what it looks like, he's utilizing the block with King of Samara to kind of trick the game to thinking he's jumping down a ledge. So even though the water is still there, he could still walk through it.
Pretty much. And Maniacal, unfortunately, with all the equipment he's packing, is able to check Shaq Tool, and we are going to see that. Unfortunately, Shaq Tool is not going to have his Hookshot or Ice Rod.
Imagine getting down here and you find Spring Ball.
Be nice, but it's in Hookshot Cave.
Oh, did someone else found that in Hookshot Cave?
Yeah, Commodore found that already, I think.
Oh.
So actually, I don't think there's any unique items that could be here at this point. Never mind. I forgot about the bug net. Or the mushroom.
Well, at least it wasn't missiles.
True. Simultaneous boss kills here between Strizer and Ancient Gamer. And that's going to be crystal number 5 for Strizer and crystal number 4 for Ancient Gamer. So yeah, Strizer packing a pretty sizable lead at this point, so It's a safe bet that at this point it is his race to lose, but anything could still happen here, folks. We could see a soft lock to Mother Brain. I thought for a split second Strizer was about to menu to his book and check the pedestal, but not the case. And I was going to ask, Strizer, you're in go mode, why are you checking this? And Strizer also got his Quake medallion out of Paradox Cave, so he didn't even have to check this medallion now. It's a bummer that it's Ether, but we're not seeing a bird toss. No, Strizer did not pick up the lamp. I do believe he saw it, but he never picked it up. But Strizer is definitely up there among high-tier runners. He was a quarterfinalist in the 2019 or 2018 winter tournament, I should say. Excuse me. Ooh, Ancient Gamer showing us some more speed tech here. He called the Icebreaker strat. He's trying to use the cane block to walk through this wall here. But unfortunately, it didn't quite work out. Commodore is checking chests in desert. He's looking for various suits still. And Maniacal just got those Morph Ball bombs off King Zora.
I wonder how angry he'd feel knowing that they were there the whole time.
That is definitely something I will ask him in the interview. And yeah, Strizer making absolutely mincemeat out of these dark rooms here in Mire. Although he's a little low on health. Alright, Strizer's almost at the edge of the dark rooms. He's about to run out of health, but does have a bottle of blue goo. Just in time to get through the door. So yeah, unfortunately, Maniacal just has not gone to Wreck Ship to pick up the Ice Rod and Hook Shot. So that's gonna cost him, unfortunately. Alright, Strizer electing to bust out the Cane of Burna here from Turtle Rock. I don't know if you realized that last eye was still up. But it does not matter. Alright, last thing on Strizer's to-do list is Palace of Darkness.
And he's free to take on Ganon. Granted, he is missing silvers. But granted, he has Butter Sword. I don't think the fight with Ganon would be too much more difficult without silvers.
No, it really isn't, because I think it's just 12 slashes in phases 1 and 2, then 3 more in phase 3, and then 12 spins in phase 4, and then that's going to be all she wrote for Ganon. And yeah, 12 spins with Butter Sword and half magic to light the torches. Yeah, I think Strizer's going to be A-okay here. He's even got a fairy.
Yeah, it's 4 slashes on phase 3, since that one he's just jumping around to make the pitfalls.
And teleporting everywhere. Did I not say 4 slashes on phase 3? Did I say something else?
You said 12 slashes on phase 3.
I thought I said phase 4, but oh well. Never mind. But yes, it is 4 slashes on phase 3, you guys are right. Oh, I said 3, okay. Whoopsie! Yeah, Strizer just zipping right here through Pod. Ancient Gamer following in his footsteps. Does still have to clear Meyer, though. Although, is gonna have to get there the long way, since he's missing the flute.
Yeah, gonna have to go all the way down to Lower Brinstar and clear out Meyer.
Yeah, which to be fair, you can route in Ridley in the meantime, so not necessarily the worst thing in the world. I believe our runners wish the gaming contrary there was a way to reduce the slash count. I mean, it is a speed run, you gotta go fast.
Don't slash, dash instead. Actually, now that I say that, isn't like dashing like considered faster than slashing if you're attacking like first phase Ganon?
To some degree, yeah, I think so. Unless you, like, buffer your position with a cane block to prevent you from ricocheting. Wow, Strizer got really lucky that mini Helmasaur didn't just knock him off the bridge there.
It's almost like a 50-50 with me on whether or not that Helmasaur knocks me off.
If you can believe it, I'm actually looking at the entrance list. It is 2.5 hours in almost. We do not have any finishers yet, despite how relatively easy this seed ended up being.
I mean, our perspective, sure, but that may not always be the case for the runners.
True, and again, everything was kind of in different places, easily accessible, but in different places. So putting one area, it seems like I would wager most runners put off one area for long. I mean, look at Maniacal, he still hasn't gone to wreck ship, just to give an example. Alright, so Strizer found his big key and is booking it to Helmasaur King. Oh god, Crossroad Key Sanity in SMZ3, that would be brutal. However, in version 11, the framework is in place to soon add regular Key Sanity to SMZ3. So we may be seeing that in the near future.
I can't even imagine what that's going to be like.
Oh, I can't wait to start putting the logic profiles together for those ones. Well, Maniacal's using the book to check the tablets. Unfortunately, this isn't the answer either. But another energy tank doesn't hurt.
Wait, Super Metroid boss keys? How does that work?
I would imagine there's probably a gate in front of the boss door or something.
Begin with.
I'm remembering kind of like the Valkyrie keys from the Super Metroid Phazon hack.
I think beam base would be rather interesting.
Beam-based if you don't have to toggle on or off certain beams. Because otherwise that would just be annoying. At least in Metroid Prime, it's as easy as flicking your C-stick the right way. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is the last crystal for Strizer 86, so it is time to play the big key guessing game. There are 22 locations in the basement of Ganon's Tower, 21 chests, and 1 torch. Get your guesses in between 1 and 22 where you think that big key is hiding. What do you think today, Pantsneck?
I'm gonna say 9.
9? This seed has been pretty free. I'm going to go a little higher, and I'm going to say 17. Actually, you know what? Angel's already guessed 17, so I'm going to go down 1 and say 16. No, Angels, I went down by 1. I went to 16. I saw you had 17. I realized, wait, no, go down 1. I try to avoid stuff like that. Strides are taking a quick detour to Super Bunny Cave and probably Hookshot Cave before going to GT. So yeah, actually, you know what could be in GT? We haven't seen Wave Beam over the course of this seed. I'm sure Strizer wouldn't mind that before fighting Mother Brain, since it would maximize his charge beam power to 900. Alright, gonna cut off the guesses here now. First 2 keys, we've got a small key and a missile pack, so it is off to the left for Strizer 86. And it's another small key on the torch. Dragon, meanwhile, had a pretty solid, or Maniacal rather, had a really solid Dragon fight and is on his way out. Hopefully this puts him, encourages him to go to Wreck Ship and wrap this, and pick up his go mode. Oh, and I'm not looking at the big keys, the GT chests. But yeah, 4 through, checks 4 through 7, not our big key yet. Check 8, no big key, missile pack. Alright, Fire Snakes, just another small key, so now it's off to the Rando room, aptly named because you only see it in Randomizer. And this is checks, I believe, 9 through 13. No, 10 through 14, excuse me. Or 10 through 13, yeah. So, still no big key. Plenty of super missiles, though. And Ancient Gamer is going to Croc, and this will be good news because this will be giving him his Varia suit and probably Plasma Bead on the way out. Did I say Varia suit again? I meant Gravity. And Bob's chest 14, is our big key. Which means Blue Smoke AKD is our winner with 14. And yep, there is Ancient Gamer's Gravity Suit. Commodore has been making some good ground in the meantime. He is actually in Turtle Rock right now, which is the last dungeon. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see the Grand Hell run out of Commodore if energy tanks are sufficient. Yeah, Michael's going through Red Tower now. He's really avoiding Wreck Ship, which... I mean, he's got to know by now that's where his progression is. I think he's headed there now.
I just think he was just kind of in the mindset of like, you know, I'm going to save this for last if I plan on finishing with Super Metroid.
We're seeing the alternative exit out of Ridley's Lair. Not a particularly common spot we see these days. Strizer, meanwhile, making short work of this tower climb. A little low on magic. But gets a nice refill. Strizer just, I think, grabbing a spare key to make sure he can make the rest of the tower climb without incident. He is checking the last 4 chests, though, looking for silver arrows. Won't find them here.
Unfortunately.
Ancient Gamer moving to his last dungeon, last Link to the Past dungeon. Meanwhile, it is time for the Strizer's geometry exam. I believe that was a triple. Indeed it was. Double, triple, single. Pretty good Aga 2 fight, all things considering, but now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to face the big pig. And Ganon is asking about burritos today.
Yeah, he's just feeling a little hungry.
I don't blame him. It is just about dinner time in my neck of the woods. Ooh, snuck in a quick slash there. Now, Stryzer did not find the arrows in the light world, but has successfully set up the torch glitch and now is preparing for the spins. 12 spins should do it. I believe he's now on, and that was his 6th. Yeah, you can tell he got a spin off if he ricocheted. I think it's 2 more spins now, and then down will go Ganon. Never mind, just 1 more. That is Buttery Bacon for Stryzer86. Get a single G in chat for Stryzer. So with that hard reset, Stryzer will immediately save warp to the ship, and this will be a quick run to Torian. Alright, so Maniacal about to get the, about to realize that his go mode was right here this whole time. And now cue the extreme frustration. Cause, yep. Ice Rod and Hookshot, both last location in Wreck Ship.
I gotta feel just a little bit bad for him.
Yeah, it really is just unfortunate that Maniacal put off Wreck Ship for so long. Commodore, meanwhile, has picked up the Ganon's Tower Big Key and is on his way to Ganon. Commodore is also not packing the silver arrows here.
It also looks like Maniacal is going for the power bomb strat since he still doesn't. Oh no, I guess he was just getting them close together.
Yeah, everybody should have Ice Beam, but by now. Yeah, he's using a bomb because he's trying to conserve his supers. And yeah, we're down to 10 supers, so granted, Maniacal could just take a refill. Surprised he doesn't, actually. Alright, let's see if Maniacal gets the baby skip here. And yeah, Maniacal is actually electing to go ahead and finish Super Metroid first. This is actually kind of tough without Wave Beam. He's making sure to keep enough horizontal distance so the baby doesn't, like, grapple, doesn't, like, magnetize, but it looks like he pulled it off. Nicely done.
Waveless baby skip, man. That is a feat.
Absolutely. I've never seen it done without Wave Beam.
I think I've seen it only done like once before. I think that may have been Oats and Goats that did that. Of course, that is Oats and Goats we are speaking of.
Yeah, and I know he's like god tier of Super Metroid. I think our runners are short on energy tanks for stand-up. I think they need at least 9 or 10.
Actually, I believe you only need 7 for stand-up.
Oh, it's only 7. Okay, never mind. I stand corrected. And so will our runners.
And
So yeah, Maniacal is actually her first runner fighting Mother Brain. Or I should say, actually no, Strizer pulled ahead just a bit. But yeah, Maniacal covered some good ground on Torian with that baby skip.
I think Maniacal's gonna go for that stand-up glitch.
He's got literally the minimum threshold of health to be able to do that.
Yep, he's got it.
Just has to make sure not to accidentally walk into Mother Brain again. Luckily, with X-ray scope, if they accidentally did hit the second trigger for being forced to sit down, they can just use X-ray to fix that easily. Looks like Strizer was able to take about half off a little over half of Mother Brain's health using stand-up glitch. Not bad. And now it is just a run to the ship. And yeah, folks, get a single G in chat for Maniacal as Mother Brain is down for him, and because because Mother Brain was the first boss to be taken down, we'll start the self-destruct sequence kind of like normal, but there is no timer. Once Maniacal returns to Crateria, the sequence will stop, and Zebus will be back to normal again.
It, of course, also means that you can't rescue the animals, since once you get back to Crateria, it just goes back to normal.
Pretty much. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, get your GGs in for Strizer86, who finishes in first place amongst our restream and first place overall with an official SRL time of 2:54.25, sub 3.
That is an impressive time.
And get
like,
this.
Sub 3 hours on the hard mode seed?
And get this, we have a second place finisher, Maximum Barnage, finishing just 34 seconds later with an official SRL time of 2:54.59. We are seeing if we can get Strizer in for an interview. Meanwhile, a single G for Commodora. Not sure, actually, now that I think about it, why Ancient Gamer checked Aqueduct just now, because I don't think he's looking for any items.
Didn't Aqueduct have Ice Rod? Or no, Fire Rod.
No, Aqueduct did not have anything. You're thinking Waterway had Fire Rod.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
He might be looking for, chat saying he might be looking for a sword, which makes sense.
Does he only have one sword upgrade?
He's got only Master Sword, but he does have silvers.
Yeah. I was about to say, if at the very least he had silvers, that's good, but like Master Sword Ganon is pretty bad.
Alright, we're still working on seeing if we can get Strizer in here for an interview. Ancient Gamer going for the quick kill on grapple with grapple on Dragon. Nicely done. And that is Maniacal's 6th crystal. Just has to go to Turtle Rock now. And Commodore is actually about to get that Varia suit. And just before the 3-hour mark, Commodore enters go mode. Should have taken up Billy Mays on his offer.
This is what happens when you don't listen to Billy Mays.
Just gotta go kill Ridley and then Mother Brain. So actually, all things considering, we should be probably wrapping up this seed in about, you think about 20 minutes or so?
I'd say so. Maybe like 30, maybe 40 minutes?
Yeah, because I feel like in Ancient Gamer's case, he's just got to defeat Ganon and Mother Brain. Maniacal just has to finish Turtle Rock and then Ganon. Commodore just has to finish off Ridley and Mother Brain because he's already done GT. Yeah, Ancient Gamer is still looking for some kind of power-up. Actually, to be fair, this is our first check of Ether Tablet, I think. But it's missiles. Oh yeah, Commodore doesn't have space jump, so he's got an IBJ. He's electing to IBJ up here. And we got Strizer joining us in the Twitch chat. Strizer, GG. Congratulations on a first place. And, so, Strizer, gotta ask you, if you're still around, what did you think about all the Sphere 1, practically all the Sphere 1 freebies? Despite one of the most barren Kakarikos we've had in a long time. Ooh, the door shut on Ancient Gamer. And as Angels points out, we have a third place finisher, Sinus, who finished in third place with an SRL time of 3:03:49, which is a about 7-minute personal best for him. It was a strange seed. A lot of the progression was available early, but it was scattered. Like, because you had Hookshot and Ice Rod and Wreck Ship. You had Kanan, Alpha Power Bombs. You had Hammer on the Old Man. Titans. Both gloves were in the Eastern Palace neighborhood. That's actually pretty funny. I'm still giggling over the fact that Dark World access was Sphere 0 in this hard logic. Yeah, unfortunately, Ancient Gamer's Go mode was that Ice Rod and Hookshot. Commodore's was the Varia suit, if you can believe it. Oh, there was the mushroom. It was in the compass room of GT. Now, another question for you, Strizer. Were you scratching your head a bit when you saw that it was all 3 pendants in the light world and green was vanilla? Oh, Sinus, was your Go mode the gravity suit? And I think it was also... I think actually it was Ancient Gamer's Go mode as well. But congratulations on a personal best.
Especially considering, like, sub 3 is pretty dang good.
Yeah, Ancient Gamer had to go through Lower Norfair to get to Meyer because he didn't pick up the flute in the watering hole. Where were Silvers? They were on the purple chest. Oh, there's Wavebeam in the GT big chest. Well, at least Ancient Gamer's gonna have full power for Mother Brain. Meanwhile, Commodore has defeated Ridley and is on the way to Mother Brain.
I guess you could say when it comes to getting the wave beam, it's a long waves away.
Yeah? Yeah. Ancient Gamer, I think, took an intentional fall there to use the invincibility frames to run through the cannonballs. Not a bad call. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what other crazy stuff went down, because yeah, the only really long-winded sequence was technically Hammer was lamp-locked, which you had to get Mitts and Mirror and then go to Floating Island. Although I think you had to get Hookshot from Wreck Ship first too, because that's your only East Death Mountain access to get to the lamp.
So the mirror was in
Front of Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mitts and Mirror were free, practically. Actually,
But you
no,
mean if you
Mitts...
had Mirror-
Yeah, Speed Booster. You had Mirror, but no Hammer. Alright, Commodore making the way down to Torian, while Maniacal is making the way up GT. So both of these two are going to be finishing pretty soon here. Yeah, Strizer, you fought... I think you were the first to fight Ridley amongst the Restream runners, and I think you had only 5 E-Tanks at the time, with a couple reserves. We gotta hand it to you for Daredevil play there. So as we're kind of winding down here, folks, again, we would like to remind you that that on Saturday we do have a crowd control SMZ3 race coming up. I think it's Saturday afternoon. We do invite you to join us for that. And once again, our SMZ3 1v1 2020 tournament will be beginning next Monday. So yeah, we've got plenty of SMZ3 coming down the pipe, especially next week, folks. So be sure to tune in. It's going to be quite the show. Alright, Maniacal taking on Ganon. Having no trouble getting through phase 1. It likes to use Cape strats to tank against these fire bats. Commodore, I think, is trying to set up a Zeptite skip, having a tiny bit of trouble. Huh. I didn't know the Silver Arrows check was considered Dark World for the purple chest. Did it say Dark World or did it say Light World? I thought I saw Dark. But it does not matter, because one way or another, Maniacal has just delivered the 4th skewer to Ganon. Get your GGs in chat for Maniacal. As he will now cross the most dangerous 1x3 bridge in the history of video games and finish 2nd place amongst our restream and 4th place overall with an official SRL time of 3:16:31. And we appear to have lost Ancient Gamer, and also according to my entrance list, he has forfeited the race.
Ooh. Well, I think Commodore just needs to be Mother Brain here, and they'll be done.
Yes. See if we can get Maniacal or Ancient Gamer to join us in the booth. Looks like he's not attempting stand-up.
Probably doesn't want to risk it, or maybe he's just not familiar with it.
Fair enough. And we are joined in the booth by Maniacal. Maniacal, GG to you.
Hey, thanks, GG.
So, how about that wrecked ship?
Well, it would have been a lot more interesting if Sinus hadn't spoiled it in chat, but I routed as if he hadn't. So, I just did what I was going to do anyway. But I knew everything. I knew the go mode -2 was going to be there.
And we're also joined by Ancient Gamer, GG to you as well.
Yeah, GGAG. Sorry about the technical issue. I know he had said that he was having a little bit of a difficulty, but hopefully his audio works.
Might you need to reset it real quick.
But yeah, based on what he described, I think I was probably a little ahead of him into Ganon, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, he still had to fight Mother Brain as well, so you were pretty significantly ahead.
Okay. I would have felt even worse if that had been like the difference between him edging me out by a few seconds and not, because that would have been a close one to have on Restream. That would have been fun.
But the way you read it kind of looked like you were just saving Wreck Ship for last, just so you could go right to Turian when you were done.
I mean, that was part of it. Also, part of it was the way the items fell. There are a whole bunch of things that fell in similar spheres. I was very worried about Wrecked Ship when I saw Flippers, actually, just because of the way the loadout had fallen. But I decided to continue on the plays I was on and stay away from that, and then do a little bit of Flipper chasing. But yeah, when Turtle Rock didn't pan out anything, I knew that things were not going very well for me.
Yeah, it's not like Monday where Turtle Rock was loaded this time.
Yeah, the loadout just pushed Turtle Rock so hard so early. And then when Fire Rod showed up at Waterway, I was just like, okay, this is the edge that I needed to push. And then Turtle Rock first chest did Fire Rod lock you. And so I was like, okay, I might be onto something, but it was actually not onto anything.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate. But yeah, the seed didn't really struggle to put things in a lot of large spheres, but everything was still scattered.
Yeah,
I think the only long-winded chain was effectively for Hammer, because you needed Mitz, Mirror, and Hookshot, I think, technically, because Hammer was lamp locked to go all the way back for Lamp.
Yeah, Hammer was a weird one, for sure.
OMG, Commodore saving the animals.
We might as well.
I can approve of this. Metroid Fusion is canon.
As much as I don't want it to be.
Yeah, I liked this one. I felt like I was probably ahead early. I felt like I got Morph Ball at a good time. I felt pretty good about some of the early stuff that I did. But then I spent a little over an hour just spinning my wheels and finding absolutely nothing downstream because I was searching deeper. Just because this was a much, much shallower seed than just about any other seed. And then, like you said, the one deep-ish item you actually were able to break in Hammer. And I kind of assumed that something had to be downstream of Hammer. And it just wasn't.
Is my sound working now?
Yes,
yeah, I hear you, AG.
Okay, GG, guys.
Yeah, welcome
GG,
to the
man.
booth. Yeah, we have Commodore finishing now in 5th place overall, 3rd place on our restream. Official SRL time 3:22:02, and in 6th, just 9 seconds behind, is Dorkmaster Fleck with a time of 3:22:11.
Pretty great race overall, I gotta say.
It was a pretty solid race, absolutely.
Yeah, it seemed like Stryzer, I guess, found the bad things pretty early and had an easy go of it. But it seemed like everyone else probably was having a little bit of a mess of things, and so that's always fun to watch.
Well, for perspective of how much divergence we saw, because you were all going separate ways, we found no mode at about 112. By the time we saw everybody, like Croc had gravity, we didn't need Quake for the Dark World dungeons. We saw that wreck ship care package. Flippers were free. Titan's mitts were free this time. And also, yeah, what are your thoughts on vanilla pendants?
Well, I was sad to see it. I opened the map and it was just like an oof from me, but you know, that'll happen.
Because we looked at it and we asked, wait, is this even randomized?
Yeah, it's very uncommon to get, you know, exact vanilla pendants. I can't remember the last time I saw it, so it was kind of a chuckle.
And there's a slight. Oh, actually, we were just seeing a lot of like French vanilla stuff in the early game because like Shield was down in the Uncle area, but Uncle didn't exactly have that.
Charge beam was just one floor above its normal spot.
Yep.
Yeah, it was that Morphless early Bryn check and that suite of items that were pulled out from there, including Moon Pearl and everything, felt really, really good. Like bailing and chasing that speed booster with a bunch of Sphere 1 locations and a link to the past. But then 158 flippers felt really bad. So
Oof. Yeah, those flippers were yeah, I think you were the last one to pick up flippers.
I would not be surprised if that was absolutely true.
What were your thoughts on King Zora having Morph Ball bombs?
The way the logic was early, and then the way that it kind of throttled down into nothing, I thought he was actually going to have something a little more important than that. I thought there was going to be something more important. Like, once I found the flippers, I was like, oh, that might be the other short branch in the logic to lead me to one of these things that I've been looking for. And then there really wasn't anything up there, because Morph Bombs weren't really that big of a deal in this seed, so...
Maybe the logic was kind of expecting you to like Morph Ball bomb up to Gauntlet to get Mirror.
Alternatively,
no, you can wall jump up there.
Yeah.
In this logic, as soon as you have Morph Ball, it's basically in logic as long as you have 10 power bombs or 5 power bombs plus speed and 2 E-tank. There's like a bunch of contingencies, but
yeah, and Speed Booster was free today because it was behind just a glove, so...
Exactly, and so the glove led to Speed Booster, led to a bunch of stuff, and I was like, okay, I'm expecting Sphere 1 to just kind of be cleaned out, and it definitely wasn't, so...
I think Speed Booster was the logical key to Dark World X to proper, or to Morph Ball, I should say, because you couldn't get, actually, you really didn't need Speed Booster, because it was Mitts and Moon Pearl. Both gloves were in Eastern Palace, in the Eastern Palace neighborhood, so they were free, and Moon Pearl was technically acquirable with a damage boost, which was in Logic and Hard mode.
Yeah, you didn't need the Speed Booster for that.
So yeah,
yeah.
Surprisingly, this could have been a surprisingly early Morph Ball, but we don't know. We don't have the spoiler.
Yeah, that very early Dark World before a sword was something. I felt good about going and getting my hammer before going to Thieves, and then all the hammer locations were just complete junk.
Yeah, the swords were pretty spread out too.
Did we see all four of them?
Yes, there was the 4 swords were in the Chozo bowling lanes.
Okay, that's the one I didn't get.
Oh, okay.
I didn't do bowling.
Yeah, because the other 3 were Back of Desert Palace, Meridia somewhere in Meridia, not the watering hole, I think right before that. And
it was
Spectacle Rock
at Beach.
That's right, Beach, Spectacle Rock, and Chozo Bowling, and right side desert.
Yeah, I felt good about getting the one out of desert. I felt like that's one that some folks might have missed, but otherwise it was just kind of one of those seeds that turns into a full clear because I searched deeper in the logic rather than staying shallow. That happens to me a lot.
We have Commodore joining us in the Twitch chat, asking, was he the only one to last location Varia? Yes, you were. However, I think it was Ancient Gamer who last location Varia, or Gravity Suit rather, on Croc.
Oh man, yeah, this seed had potential for that sort of stuff to go down.
I mean, you always bet on Croc, right?
I mean, with Speed Booster and Varia, it made a lot of sense to go and just knock it out. But at the same time, because you had high jump, it was probably higher value to just go and pursue lower Norfair right away, and then you could actually end up leaving Croc till very late, depending on how you chose to route. So it was defensible to leave Croc until very, very late in this seed. I decided against it. I was being very thorough because I felt like things were starting to get pretty dry at that point, and it had been a while since I'd found something, and so I was like, well, I'm just going to go and see what Croc's got. But yeah, this was a fun seed. I botched it a little bit, but it seems like that probably happened to most folks. So thank you for the commentary, and thank you for having me in. I'm gonna go ahead and hop out and let y'all finish up.
Yeah. It was great watching everyone race today.
Yeah, I bet it'll be a fun one to watch back. But yeah, GG to everyone, and thanks for having me in. Take care.
GG.
Well, with all that out of the way, I guess thank you all for watching, and as last reminder, we have our big what was it, the crowd control thing coming up on Saturday?
Yeah, crowd control on Saturday, and then the Monday following, on the 13th of April, we have the once again the SMZ 1v1 2020 tournament kicking off. If you are looking for more speed gaming action in the meantime, right now, we have the Link to the Past Randomizer Open Weekly taking place on Channel 4. And at 7 o'clock, we have a couple of events. Final Fantasy Randomizer Tournament will be continuing, as well as a Super Mario 3 Bros. 3 point-based tournament. We also have the Link to the Past Randomizer League still in progress. The next match continuing at 8:10 tonight. That match is between the Yoshi's on Skis and the Super Salty Dungeoneers. So that race will be at 8:10. But with that, ladies and gentlemen, once again, shout outs to our trackers, Razor Flame Coon and Angels, for their help keeping the buttons pressed and making sure we all knew who had what. And Mr. Pansneck, it was a pleasure commentating with you today.
Yeah, of course. It was definitely a fun race to commentate on.
But yeah, with that said, thank you all for watching. Have a great night, and we will see you next mission.
Ciao.